What do you know about Islam?
I read the Quran.
Oh wow, okay.
I came from Dubai 2 weeks ago.
2 months ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, wow, okay.
I like the mentality. I like the values and principles behind.
Excellent.
Although I have my own religion, so to say.
What is that religion?
My own.
Yeah, what is that? What is your religion?
Believing in a higher force without giving a picture in a specific description or religion like Christianism, Orthodoxism, or something else.
Excellent,
So
excellent.
that's
So you believe in God?
yeah,
Okay, excellent. And you said the religion you followed, did you say it was Christianity or a different religion?
Orthodox.
Orthodox Christianity. Okay, excellent. So there's a lot of, we find a lot more in common with Orthodox Christians
I know.
than say Catholic, than many others there. And who is Jesus Christ for you?
Huh. Do you want me to be honest?
We like honesty, yeah.
So is somebody filming me?
Yeah, we are recording this. Yeah, we'll blur you out anyway. You'll be blurred.
Huh?
You won't be visible. You'll be blurred. We blur women generally.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what I believe
About Jesus Christ. Do you believe he's a human being? He's a messenger of God, or you believe he is God?
None of this.
Okay. What do you believe in?
I do not. I prefer not to think,
Okay.
and I prefer not to. How do I explain? Like you just don't know if this marketing, who wrote the Bible, these things.
Okay.
So that's why when I said that I have my own religion, I chose my own beliefs.
How did that
My
work?
own. I don't know. I am raised in a European country
Yeah.
with a certain strict religion, and I felt a lot of lie behind and a lot of untrue, like being real about what you believe in.
I'm with you.
So then, after bad experiences I had in life, I traveled, I lived in different countries. I'm a people's person.
I can see that, yeah.
Then I did decide not to follow a specific religion,
Okay.
but believe in what I believe.
How do you think that we should worship God? How he wants us to worship him, or how we feel we should worship him?
How we feel, I believe.
So not how he wants us to.
I believe that God is in your heart. And if you have a pure
Metaphorically.
Well, metaphorically.
Of course, you can say that, but in reality, we don't believe God is physically inside everyone's heart.
No, physically no.
No, of course not.
No.
Metaphorically, of course, in your heart, you know what's right and wrong, and these things, morals are in your heart there. But wouldn't it make more sense that we worship God how he wants us to worship him, not how we think? Because someone may say, I want to worship God in this particular way, and the other person may want to do it in a different way. And they both may be wrong.
I think it's a choice.
Of course, everything in life,
They can be right, isn't it?
and they can be right as well. But wouldn't it make more sense that if God gave us a purpose in this life, that he also gave us guidance? If he puts us on this earth for a reason, and we believe in Islam, our reason is to worship him and thank him for everything we have, okay, then it's also rational that he should also guide us on how to do that, rather than leave us to figure it out for ourselves. Because some people, they believe in many gods. Some people worship the sun, the moon, the trees, and another person may worship a human being like Jesus Christ or any other figure. They both can't be right. You know, there has to be one ultimate truth. So we believe that it makes more sense to the heart and the mind that we worship God how he wants us to worship him, not how we feel. Because one day you may feel that doing this particular action is good, and that's fine. And another person may feel to do something else, and that one may want to drink alcohol until he's completely drunk, and in the same time he's praising God or whatever. But you know, or anything else, okay. And another person says, no, I want to follow the revelation he's given us. He's given us that guidance. Do you believe in the messengers and prophets?
I would not call them prophets.
Abraham and Moses and Jesus. Yes.
But I do believe in messages from God, yes.
The messengers.
Messengers, I'm not so sure.
How can we have a message without a messenger?
I don't know.
Because the messenger,
deep inside myself.
but the messenger is the one who brings the message. You can't have the Bible without Jesus. You can't have the Torah without Moses. You can't have the Quran without the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They are the carriers of that message to us from God through the angel Gabriel, which is what we believe. So the messengers must be accepted if you're going to accept their message. So like you said, the Bible, we do believe in the original Bible, the Gospel of Jesus. But the Bible we have today is nothing, we can't verify the authenticity. You look at the manuscripts, all these things. The Quran is different. The Quran is the only book on the planet which has been memorized in its original language by over 10 million people minimum at any time in the world, in its original language. So it hasn't been changed since the day it was revealed. We memorize it in its original language. You can't change a letter in the Quran. And the way you can prove that it's been only preserved book, if you were to burn all the Bibles and burn all the Torahs and all the Qurans and all the books, okay, which is the only book you can reproduce?
Is that a question? I don't know.
Has anyone memorized the Bible in its original language?
I have no idea.
In its original language of what Jesus spoke? There is no Aramaic Bible. They're all in Greek. Jesus never spoke Greek. Okay, so we already lost the original of what Jesus would have said in the New Testament. The Torah, even who's memorized the whole Torah, the Quran is the only book which we all memorize in its original language. It's a memory. So if you were to destroy all of the books on the planet, the Quran is the only one we can reproduce. So it's preserved. The message is preserved. You can't change it. And this is very important because how can you have to know that something hasn't been changed before you rely on it for your guidance. If the Bible you said has been changed, and I agree with you, we can't rely on it. We can't say, well, this is what Jesus said, this is what God told us. Okay, the Quran we can verify and prove that it hasn't been changed since the day was revealed. Yeah. So this is important. I mean, feelings no doubt are there, and that Islam does give that connection of you connecting with God directly. We don't go to any imam or priest or like this or even the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. We never go to him for our needs. We only go to God directly. What do you think about everything I'm saying here? I mean,
first of all, I respect your religion. That's the most important thing I think about. Second, as like I said at the beginning, I definitely share many of the values and principles, your religion and the things that it preaches. I just respect that.
So, if someone was to say to you, why aren't you a Muslim?
Me? Like I said, I chose my own religion, and I will stay that way.
Okay.
There are, I don't know if I should say this, there are things in the Muslim religion I do not agree with.
Such as?
Like a man to have more wives, for example. Me, in my own religion, as I say, I'm an absolute monogam. I'm an idealist person. I believe in if, two people meet each other. That's it. It doesn't seem fair for the female side, although I do respect, do understand your religion very well. And by the way, it's very fair if you see it, especially in these days, because unfortunately, people cheat each other, correct?
Yep, absolutely.
And have different kind of needs, let's call it this way.
Exactly.
So your religion is made in a way that is flexible, that allow people to, how do I explain? To be open to life. You understand my point?
Okay, so how I would respond is, we believe that the Quran is a guidance for us from God. What God says to us in terms of what we should do and what we shouldn't do, or what we can do and can't do, is for our benefit.
Yeah.
For example, when God tells us don't drink alcohol, don't gamble, don't do these things, because there's more harm in this than the good.
I agree.
Okay. If we were to drink and do all the evil things, we'll never harm God.
Correct.
True. Okay. We'll only harm ourselves and society around us, and we can see that. So when it comes to this issue of marriage, okay. Now in Islam, it does allow a man to marry up to 4 wives. Okay. This comes with conditions. And what are those conditions? That a man can be just between his wives in terms of what he spends on them and the time he spends with them. If he can be just between them, then this rule or this is applicable for him. And the Quran also says, if you can't be just, then marry only one. The Quran, the rest of the chapter, the verse says, if you cannot be just between them, and most men, unfortunately, which is the reality, can't be just between them. Some can manage the time very well. Some have the wealth to support more than one wife. Okay, but most will fall short of this. So it tells, the guidance is, if you feel you can't be just between your wives, then marry only one. And it's the only religious book in the world which says to human beings to marry only one wife. Okay, so the option to marry more than one wife comes with conditions, responsibilities. Because look, if you look at Western,
That's good.
if you look at Western culture, people who are married to one wife,
They're divorced.
they're divorced, but
Sorry,
but those who stay together, how common is it for them to cheat? How common is it for men and women to go and have another partner, whilst they're being married? This happens because, of course, there are things within which it doesn't cater for. Maybe there's other reasons there. What Islam says is that, look, if you're a person and you can be just to another wife and you can give her all of her needs. In Islam, the wife has many rights over the husband. The husband is responsible for all of the financial needs of his wife and his household. The wife is not required to spend a penny on the family. She can sit at home, like you've seen in Dubai probably. She sits at home and she can enjoy her life, okay? And the husband is the one who has to spend and provide, okay? Now, this is, again, we as human beings, we don't complain about this. We don't say, oh, why is it unfair? Why do men have to spend? Why don't we? No, because Islam gives us a framework for life. That if you follow this framework, that women, okay, this gives you that time to rear those children and bring them up in a healthy household, okay, and raise good citizens for the future, essentially, or for the society, without having to worry about going out and working and raising your children at the same time and all these things. Islam takes that burden off them, and to the man it says, this is your responsibility to provide for them.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it comes. So these things, there's more context behind it. It's not just a case of, okay, this man, he has more needs and desires, etc. He goes and marries many women, treats them unfairly. It doesn't work like that. They have to come with conditions of being just between them. So this is what Islam teaches.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I came from Dubai. I have many Muslim friends here in London as well. I don't know how it happens, but most the best people I know are Muslim.
Mashallah.
And yeah, I really admire and very much respect the religion. I have many similarities. Even my friend Nikki, you have so many similarities. But me, I chose my own path, so to say.
What you say? You chose your own path.
Yeah.
What is that path? And how did you and do you just go by by your desires?
No.
What you feel, what feels right to you, is what you do.
I wouldn't call the word fear.
Okay.
I would say, because I'm also not a child, I'm not very young, right? So I lived something of this life. I've been in different countries.
Sure.
I've been praying in mosques. No, in mosques I have been. I'm going now, when I'm going back to Dubai.
Okay.
I'm going back to the place. But I've been, how do I explain? Yeah, I admire life a lot. And I took many teachings from all over the place. And I put them all together.
Okay.
And I react in belief according to what, how do I explain? I've made my own opinion, if that makes sense.
You made your own?
My own opinion, my own mindset.
Right.
So that is my religion. Like,
so you
have a sense of.
So you picked what you like from each thing.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say, because those experiences or events sometimes have.
Okay, mashallah.